Hello Army. What if the most powerful moment of Fashion Week wasn't on the runway, but in a voice message Taehyung could barely finish listening to? Just as Grazia Singapore announced, Fashion Week is about to heat up with BTS V ready for Celine on March 7th. The world expected glamour, dominance, and another historic front-row takeover. But instead, Army is crying. Why did Jungkook's unexpected message change everything? What did he say that made Taehyung pause? And why does this comeback feel emotional instead of triumphant? Is this just fashion, or the beginning of a story no one saw coming? Stay with us, because tonight the spotlight is brighter than ever, and so are the tears. And what if one voice message could shake the fashion world? What if a single comment from Jungkook changed how millions see Kim Taehyung forever? Tonight, global headlines explode as BTS V returns to dominate Fashion Week, with Grazia Singapore declaring, Fashion Week is about to heat up and BTS V is ready. But behind the flashing cameras, behind the Celine invitations dated March 7th, behind the front-row celebrity glow, Army is in tears. Why did Taehyung struggle to listen to Jungkook's message? What did Jungkook say that altered global expectations overnight? And why does this glamorous comeback feel painfully emotional? Stay with us, because this is more than fashion. This is a story the world didn't see coming. The world thought it was just another fashion headline, another glamorous appearance, another effortless moment where Kim Taehyung, known globally as BTS V, would step into a room and turn it into history. But what if this time was different? What if beneath the polished suits, the sharp Celine tailoring, and the flashing cameras, there was a moment so emotional that even Taehyung himself could barely hold it together? Tonight, the global entertainment and fashion industries collide in a way no one expected. Taehyung is back. Not quietly, not subtly, but in a way that has shaken headlines from Seoul to Singapore, from London to Milan. And yet, as Grazia Singapore posted via Instagram, Fashion Week is about to heat up and BTS V is ready. Something else was unfolding behind the scenes. Something far more personal, far more emotional, and far more shocking. Why was Army crying when the world was applauding? Let us take you back to the moment everything shifted. Grazia Singapore ignited the buzz with a statement that sent fashion insiders into a frenzy. Still mesmerized by the celebrity appearances in the front rows of London and Milan? The fashion calendar is about to get even hotter as BTS singer V hints at appearing at Celine's show on March 7th. The message was clear. The industry was preparing for impact. When Taehyung appears, he does not simply attend, he dominates. And yet, just hours before the fashion world began counting down to Celine's March 7th show, another message was circulating online. A message reportedly from Jungkook. A message that insiders describe as deeply personal, emotional, unexpected. Why would Jungkook's words make Taehyung struggle to listen? Sources close to the situation suggest that the message was not dramatic in tone, but in meaning. Jungkook's comment, brief yet powerful, reportedly challenged public perception. It wasn't about styling. It wasn't about luxury branding. It wasn't about Celine or Paris or Milan. It was about Taehyung himself. For years, the narrative around V in fashion has been consistent. Ethereal visuals, effortless charisma, a living embodiment of luxury. Designers praise him. Editors chase him. Cameras worship him. But Jungkook's alleged words hinted at something deeper, something vulnerable. According to online speculation, Jungkook spoke about pressure, about expectations, about how the world sees Taehyung as untouchable, but rarely sees the weight he carries. And suddenly, the glamorous comeback felt different. Army noticed it first. While international fashion accounts celebrated V's return, hashtags from fans told another story. Why did Taehyung look slightly emotional in recent clips? Why did his smile linger a second too long, as if holding back something else? Why did Jungkook's message feel like both encouragement and confession? Could it be that the world's most photographed idol is fighting a silent battle behind the flashbulbs? When Grazia Singapore amplified the anticipation, describing Fashion Week heating up with V's arrival, engagement numbers skyrocketed. Analysts observed immediate spikes in social media interactions. Celine-related keywords trended within minutes. The economic impact of a Taehyung appearance is measurable, predictable, undeniable. But emotion cannot be measured so easily. In one resurfaced clip circulating among fans, Taehyung reportedly paused after hearing Jungkook's words. His expression changed. Not dramatically, not theatrically, but subtly. An ARMY, known for analyzing micro-expressions, felt it instantly. Was that pride? Was that gratitude? Or was it something heavier, something bittersweet? This is where the narrative shifts from fashion spectacle to human story. Because when Jungkook comments on Taehyung, it is never just a comment. Their dynamic has always fascinated fans worldwide. Supportive, layered, deeply intertwined in shared history. When one speaks about the other, the internet does not scroll past. Stops. And this time the stop felt different. Fashion insiders emphasize that Taehyung's presence at Celine is strategic. His global ambassadorship aligns perfectly with the brand's aesthetic. His influence in luxury marketing is unmatched. When he wore Celine previously, search traffic surged. When he appears front row, resale markets react. This is not mere celebrity attendance. It is a calculated power move within the global fashion economy. So why are fans crying? Because Jungkook's message reportedly reframed the moment. Instead of a triumphant solo return, it felt like a reminder of shared journeys, of past stages, of laughter behind the scenes, of struggles hidden behind global success. Was Taehyung overwhelmed because the message reminded him of where they started, of how far they have come, of what they have endured? Speculation intensified when fans translated and retranslated Jungkook's comment, searching for hidden meaning. Some believe it carried reassurance. Others believe it carried apology. A few believe it was a subtle acknowledgement of recent distance rumors that have circulated online. No official statement confirms any tension. No verified source confirms emotional conflict. Yet the feeling persists. Why does this fashion headline feel like a chapter in something bigger? Industry observers note that the timing is critical. March 7th. Celine, Paris. Global media presence guaranteed. If Taehyung appears visibly emotional, cameras will capture it from every angle. If he smiles confidently, headlines will declare dominance. Either way, the world watches. But ARMY watches differently. They are not just analyzing outfits. They are analyzing breathing patterns, eye contact, subtle pauses, the way Taehyung reacts when Jungkook's name is mentioned. And in that analysis, they found something raw. One fan post read, "He looks strong, but he also looks like he's carrying something." Another wrote, "Jungkook's words felt like they were protecting him." Engagement numbers surged. Emotional edits flooded timelines. Slow-motion videos set to melancholic music accumulated millions of views. Meanwhile, mainstream fashion media remains focused on the surface. Will V wear a tailored black ensemble? Will he experiment with silhouette? Will he redefine front-row presence yet again? But beneath the speculation about hemlines and accessories lies a deeper question. Is this Taehyung's most vulnerable era? The duality is striking. On one side, headlines proclaim, BTS V returns to shake the fashion world. On the other side, fans whisper, why does this feel like goodbye energy? Why does this feel heavier than usual? And then there is Jungkook's role. Some analysts suggest his public support was intentional, a grounding force amid overwhelming global attention. Others suggest it was spontaneous, an honest reaction to seeing Taehyung step back into the spotlight. Regardless of motive, the impact was undeniable. Search trends for Jungkook message to Taehyung climbed rapidly. Combined keywords linking both names surged in multiple countries. This was no isolated fashion update. It was a cultural moment. Because when two global icons are emotionally linked in public perception, every interaction carries magnitude. Let us not ignore the power dynamic here. Taehyung in fashion is a phenomenon. Jungkook in music is a phenomenon. Together, even indirectly, they create a narrative ecosystem that fuels global fandom engagement at unprecedented levels. But this story is not about algorithms. It is about a moment when Taehyung reportedly could not fully hold his composure while listening to someone who has shared his journey for over a decade. What was in that message that made ARMY feel both proud and heartbroken? Perhaps it was simplicity. Sometimes the simplest words hit hardest. Perhaps Jungkook reminded him that beyond Celine, beyond Grazia headlines, beyond Fashion Week calendars heating up, he is still Kim Taehyung, friend, artist, human being. And perhaps that reminder was overwhelming. As March 7th approaches, anticipation intensifies. Will Taehyung address the emotional buzz directly? Will Jungkook appear or comment again? Will the world focus solely on couture while fans search for meaning in glances? One thing is certain. This is no ordinary fashion week. Grazia Singapore may have framed it as an escalating style calendar moment, but for millions, it feels like a deeply personal chapter unfolding in real time. Why are ARMY full of tears? Because sometimes triumph looks like strength from afar but feels like pressure up close. Because sometimes a glamorous return carries invisible weight. Because sometimes the most powerful headline is not about fabric or front rows, but about friendship, support, and unspoken emotion. Taehyung is ready for Fashion Week. The cameras are ready. The brands are ready. But is his heart steady? As the world counts down to Celine on March 7th, one question lingers in the air like the final note of a song not yet finished. When Taehyung steps into that spotlight, will we see a fashion icon conquering the runway circuit? Or a man holding on to the echo of Jungkook's words? Stay tuned, because this story is still unfolding. The countdown to March 7th no longer feels like a simple fashion appointment. It feels like a global emotional checkpoint. Paris is preparing its runways. Editors are finalizing guest lists. Luxury houses are rehearsing camera angles and entrance choreography. Yet outside the marble halls and velvet ropes, something far more intense is happening online. ARMY is not just preparing outfit predictions or trend forecasts. They are preparing their hearts. Why does this appearance feel heavier than any other front row moment Taehyung has had before? Because this time the story began with emotion, not fabric. In the hours following Grazia Singapore's post, the fashion world reacted exactly as expected. Headlines praised V's influence. Analysts discussed brand valuation spikes. Industry insiders reminded everyone that when BTS V attends Celine, the impact is measurable in stock movement, resale demand, and global search dominance. His previous appearances triggered immediate sellouts. His airport fashion alone has influenced seasonal collections. But the emotional undercurrent refuses to fade. Jungkook's message, brief, powerful, layered, continues to circulate in translation threads. Fans dissect tone. They compare wording with past interviews. They examine punctuation as if it holds a hidden confession. Some believe it was encouragement. Others sense a protective undertone. A few even whisper that it sounded like someone bracing a friend before a storm. Is there a storm we cannot see? Taehyung has always carried duality with elegance. On stage, he commands attention with quiet intensity. In interviews, he balances poetic introspection with playful unpredictability. In fashion, he embodies both classic restraint and modern rebellion. Yet those who have followed his journey closely know that behind the calm exterior lies someone deeply sensitive. And when a sensitive artist hears something meaningful from someone who has shared his entire adult life, the reaction can be subtle but profound. Recent airport footage has been replayed endlessly. Not because of the outfit, though it was undeniably sharp. Not because of the styling, though it aligned perfectly with Celine's aesthetic. But because of one fleeting expression. A pause. A breath that seemed heavier than usual. A smile that flickered before settling. ARMY noticed. Why did that micro-expression feel like he was holding back tears? Emotional narratives around public figures often become exaggerated online, yet this moment feels different to many fans. It does not feel manufactured. It does not feel staged. It feels raw. And raw emotion in the middle of a luxury fashion spectacle is rare.